Hey y'all, thanks for coming back to my channel. I'm Rabbia and I'm a realtor in the Temecula Valley area. Y'all know the drill by now. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, click on that subscribe button, click on that like button, and click on that bell so you get notified whenever I post new videos. Today we're going to talk about the market that we had in Temecula in June. So I've got cheat sheets today because I will forget all the numbers and I want y'all to know the numbers so you have the right information. Now I kicked out any homes that were not single family residents. So if there were condos in there or townhomes or manufactured homes, I kicked those out. I only kept it to single family residence homes. And I also narrowed it down a little bit after that. I'm gonna give you guys numbers for single family, so single story homes. I'm gonna give you data for 2-story homes, and then I'm gonna give you data on $1 million homes too. So I kind of broke it down like that. So you got single story, 2-story, then you got single story $1 million homes, and then 2-story $1 million homes. So that's how I broke it down. Okay, so first on the single family 1-story homes. That's a lot to say. I'm gonna get my words all messed up. Anyways, there were 52 homes that sold. They averaged in square feet from about 904 square feet all the way up to a little bit over 3,100 square feet. The average though was about 1,834. Now keep in mind that most single story homes go for a little bit more per square foot because they are in demand a little bit more. We don't have as many single story homes out here, so people are paying a little bit more per square footage, and when an appraiser looks at it, they're gonna give a little bit more. Appraisers don't really go by price per square foot. They're going on comparing like to like. So when you're seeing these homes that I'm talking about, when I say the 900 square foot home all the way up to the 3,100 square foot home, realize that an appraiser is not going to compare a 900 square foot home to a 3,100 square foot home. They're going to compare like to like. So they're going to look at numbers of bedrooms, numbers of bathrooms. They'll even look at, do they have a fireplace? Do they have an extra bathroom? Do they have a swimming pool? How large is the lot? Maybe some of the lots are a lot larger, so they may add a little bit more when they do the appraisal on that, because they're gonna add a little bit more for the price per square footage, the extra square footage. Okay, does that make sense? Okay, now they were priced anywhere from $369,000 all the way up to $890,000. And they both, it seems like almost all of them are selling a little bit above the asking price. So just know when you're going in that you're probably still, even right now, gonna have to pay a little bit more than the asking price. Our market is starting to, we're seeing a little bit of a shift right now, but we're still seeing it as a seller's market. So we still have a lower inventory, way more buyers than we do homes for buyers to get. So people are still going a little bit above asking price. And if the home doesn't appraise, a lot of them are still willing to pay the difference between the appraised price and then the price that they actually offered on the home. Okay, now the average price for single story homes was about $600,000. Per square foot, the average for a single story is about $358 a square foot. But again, remember, when we're looking at trying to make a market analysis for you when you're going to put an offer in or when you're going to list your home, we kind of look at this price per square foot, but we do go like by like. Also try and keep it within about a mile radius, because that's going to give you more like for like homes. Like, I don't want to compare a home that is in town in Paloma del Sol and compare it to a home that's out in wine country that maybe has 5 acres, because it's just not like to like. So you want to keep it as similar as possible. Even, I like to keep it within the same neighborhood. So if I'm going to list a home that's in Paloma del Sol, I'm going to try and only pull comps that are in Paloma del Sol. I don't want to go outside that area unless I have to. So for example, if there's a 3,200 square foot home in Paloma del Sol and I can't find anything else that's even similar to that, then I might go outside and go to the neighborhood that's right across the street. I might go to Paseo del Sol and try and compare the home in Paseo del Sol to the home in Paloma, because I didn't have anything to compare it to within the Paloma del Sol neighborhood. Okay, got that? Okay, now days on market is a biggie too. we're seeing homes, like y'all know, they're flying off the market. So they're coming on the market, they're going. So where the single story homes, we were seeing homes for June range anywhere between 0 days up to 85. Now, the home that sold at 85 days, that one was on hold for a while, and then they were in escrow a couple of times, so that added on to their days on market. But right now for June, typically the days on market for the single story homes were about 9. So that's not very much. You're looking at from the listing to the time they went into escrow, 9 days, which means they probably showed homes at the very beginning, got multiple offers, put it on hold while the seller was reviewing offers, and then on day 9, they opened up escrow. Okay, now let's look at the $1 million single story homes. Okay, we had 12 homes that sold in that price range. Now they ranged in square footage from a little bit over 1,400 square feet. I know that sounds crazy, right? Y'all are thinking a 1,400 square foot home that sold over $1 million, but I'll explain to y'all what about that house. So it went up all the way up to a little bit over 5,500 square feet. Again, the average was about 3,300 square feet for the single story $1 million homes. The minimum price that one sold for was $1,075,000. A lot of money, right? Then the maximum one sold for 2.8, almost 2.9. So a little bit of a difference between that minimum pricing and the maximum pricing. Okay, so the average price was about 1.6 million that they were selling for. And most of those had acreage. Now there were a few that were in town that maybe they had 3/4 of an acre for the lot, but the majority of them were out in wine country and they sold for over $1 million, but again, they had that acreage on them. Okay, now let's talk about the 2-story single family residences. So remember, we kicked out all the condos, townhomes, and manufactured. So we're just looking at single family residences on this for this market update. Now in June, 153 sold. The square footage ranged from about almost 1,300 square feet to about almost 4,600 square feet, with your average square foot being about 2,680 square feet. That's pretty good size for a 2-story home, pretty average for Temecula. So when you're looking around the majority of Temecula, a lot of them you're gonna see over the 2,000 square foot when they're in the 2-story range. Now the minimum price on those was selling at $440,000. The maximum was $999,900. So that was for a 2-story home in Temecula, wasn't out in wine country. The average price was about $664,000. So that's not too bad, $664,000. So I know I have had some buyers coming and saying, well, I really want to stay under $500,000. Right now, it's a little difficult to find anything in Temecula that's under $500,000. There are a few that are coming on, but again, boom, they're going like that. They are sold right away. So you may have to look at the pricing that you're looking at and thinking, stay in Temecula, or maybe go to a town that's close to Temecula, but maybe their prices are just a little bit lower. Now, price per square footage for the 2-story homes, you were looking at about $158 all the way up to $396 a square foot. So the average was about $267 a square foot. Days on market were all the way from 0 all the way up to 188. But the home that sold in 188 days was a short sale. Short sales typically are gonna take much longer to close because the short sale, remember, that means that the home is worth less than what the seller owes for it. So they have to talk to the lender, they have to ask the lender, will the lender accept less than they owe on the home? So then it takes a while because you've got to get approvals, you get the offer in, the seller accepts the offer, then the offer has to go to the lender. So there's this whole big thing you have to go through when you have a short sale. So 188 days for the short sale, pretty typical. When we had short sales before, it wasn't abnormal to see a home on the market for a year with short sales. But right now banks have gotten a little bit better with it because now they understand short sales and everything. We don't have very many short sales right now, but that one was, a particular one, 188 days on the market. With that being said, the average days on the market was only about 11. So if you're kicking out that 188 days and then kicking out one of the 0 days on the market, you're looking at about 11 days on the market. So again, it's just like the single story where they put the home on the market, They had showings, maybe they had a couple of open houses, then they probably got multiple offers, put it on hold while they reviewed all the offers, and then they opened up escrow. So probably on about the 11th day, they were opening up escrow. And typically they were closing in about 30 days. So it was pretty on track with what we're seeing right now. Okay, now with the 2-story $1 million homes, we had 15 that sold in June. They were priced all the way from 2520 square feet all the way up to over 8,000 square feet. You had the average square foot though was about 4,500. Okay, the minimum price, $1 million. The maximum price was 2.95. The average price was about 1.4 for the $1 million homes. Days on market were all the way from 0 all the way up to 245. The home that was on the market for 245 days, they had been on the market before, took it off the market for just a bit, brought it back on. When they brought it back on, they sold it within 3 days. So that 245 days is a cumulative. So that means from the very first time they listed it, took it off the market, brought it back on, that whole total number, that was 245 days. The average days on the market was about 30 to 40. So again, if you're kicking out one that was 0 days on the market, and then you're kicking out the one that was 245 days on the market, you're looking at about 30 to 40 days on the market before they went into escrow. It's really important to know the market when you're looking at buying or selling. So you really do want to look, compare it like to like, and look in those numbers so you can make sure that you're asking a fair price for your home, and that when you're offering on it, that you're offering a fair market value on the home. Stay tuned for my next video.